Hello, everybody. This is the dialogue. Gosh, a number of people wanted me to look at Selena, the Mexican pop singer, and her killer, which is Yolanda Saldiva. She's also Mexican. Now, we're going to look at her body language and her non-confession, but looking at her micro-expressions and the cluster of mannerisms which lead to deception. This woman here worked for Selena, got ingratiated by Selena, and sort of stood in as mother figure to Selena. She was obsessed with, she was in love with her basically, and was just engulfed by her. So she ingratiated herself, but killed her, murdered her in cold blood when Selena was trying to get rid of her due to her stealing money. All right, let's have a look at her mannerisms.
To be a monster, I just want to say, I did not kill Selena.
Okay, if you notice, she had a slight micro expression of a nodding of the head. Let's slow this down.
I did not kill Selena.
Well, she did kill Selena because she shot her through the back into her artery and the bullet went out the front. Selena died within minutes. And she did kill her. No one else killed Selena. And she's admitted that. So she's even fumbling her story right away.
It was an accident.
Accident with elongated closing of the eyes. And she's poking her tongue out at us saying, la, 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 I know something you don't know.
And my conscience is clear.
My conscience is clear, slight raising of the left eyebrow, incongruent. Okay, so that's a cluster. 3 different things that I picked up already to tell me this woman is not candid. She's basically lying, or not just being a real woman.
Hence speculation, weeks after the jury's conviction. The prosecution contends it was a case of cold-blooded murder committed by an obsessed fan out for revenge. But Saldivar insists it was all a tragic accident, a story she still stands by today.
Holding back.
What happened that morning when Selena arrived? Did she say she wanted to fire you?
Fear and not regret, but annoyance. Right there, not quite the pursing of the lips, but pulling back of the lips into the little dimplets here. That shows that she's frustrated and she's annoyed.
That she never told me that.
Notice how she took a swallow? She never told me that.
She never told me that.
And then we had a hard swallow. That is a mannerism that you should be aware of.
I was telling her to leave. And I said, it's over, Selena. It's over. I can't work for you no more. I can't work for you no more.
She's making this out that Selena begged her to stay with her. She said, no, I'm out of here. Other way around. And if you look at the interviewer here, this is a look of critical thinking here. So we've got one finger up on the cheek. Whenever you see that, you know that someone is not happy with what you've said or the situation at hand. One finger on the cheek. It's not happy.
Went down. She grabbed my feet and told me not to leave her. And I picked her up and I told her, just leave. And I grabbed the gun, put it to my head. I pulled the thing back. And I said, if you don't leave, I'm going to do it to him. And she got up and she says, Mom, we need to talk about this. We need to talk about this. I'm going to close the door. And when she was walking to the door, she was going at an angle.
So we closed the door and then she was walking towards the door. That doesn't make sense. So her story is not making sense. Another thing you'll pick up is her little baby doll voice. Another thing with that voice, it's not centered in her chest resonance. It's up here in her throat. She's in fear mode and she doesn't want to connect her truth into her voice because she knows that she's lying. And that's what we do to keep ourselves safe, is we give a little voice. We don't give out much.
And I told her, don't close the door. And in that instant, the gun went off.
It's laughable.
But why didn't it hit you?
Because I was pointing to the door and it just went.
Did you know she was hit?
No, I did not know.
No, I did not know. Okay, so that tells me, I did not know. That's another mannerism that we need to be aware of. She could have said, I didn't know, rather than I did not know, which is a bit formal.
There was blood along the door seal.
I didn't even look at the door.
But there was blood all over the room. How could you not see it?
The pictures that I see, they're dots.
The pictures? What are you on about? You were in the room. You shot the gun, blood went everywhere, yet this lying face says otherwise.
Many people have wondered that if you were really trying to kill yourself, why didn't you commit suicide when you were in the car all those 9.5 hours.
Another thing you need to be aware of, when someone raises their chin like this, that's a form of a barrier. Instead of your arm going across your body, your chin's actually holding yourself up. You're trying to get some sort of confidence. You think you'll get confidence by raising your head.
There were many things going through my mind. I could hear her in my mind telling me, stay behind, stay behind. I hear her tell me, you don't commit suicide because I'll never see you in heaven.
Wow, that's a real fantasy right there. This woman is obsessed with Selena and making stuff up.
Jurors didn't believe Saldivar. It took them less than 3 hours to convict her. Family. Did you steal any money from Selena's business?
No, ma'am. Not ever.
Notice that? She said, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. Okay, she's being overly formal. Ma'am. That's a red flag again.
Can you tell me if you were angry? Frustrated?
No.
Okay, let's go back and look at that again. Took a hard swallow.
No, ma'am. Not ever.
Can you tell me if you were angry?
Okay, and she's nodding her head. Let's look at it again at that properly.
Yeah, family. Did you steal any money from Selena's business?
No, ma'am. Not ever.
Can you tell me if you were angry?
Now, I'm a little bit confused with this editing because she's shaking her head, but she's also nodding her head. There could be a cut there with the actual original 2020 crew. However, she's nodding her head.
Frustrated?
No, I was never angry. I was never frustrated.
Okay, I saw something there, and I'm going to look very slowly at that micro expression. No, ma'am, not ever. Slight nodding of the head. And there's a little bit of a happy face because she thinks she's duped everyone.
Angry?
And we saw that. Hard swallow.
Frustrated?
No, I was never angry. I was never frustrated.
Well, surprisingly, that's congruent. It doesn't mean to say she's telling the truth.
There were allegations that you were in love with her.
And that's not true. And if people think that Selena and I had a lesbian relationship, you're not a fan of Selena.
Okay, did you notice what she did just then? The interviewer asked her if she was in love with Selena. And then she threw it back to a fan saying this.
Think that Selena and I had a lesbian relationship.
She's twisting the situation to make it appear that there was a possibility of a lesbian relationship. She is highly manipulative.
You're not a fan of Selena.
I'm not a fan of Selena. She's trying to show off, actually. She's trying to pretend that they had a lesbian affair and that she's that important after all.
Why did you decide you needed a gun?
It was after threats had been made against my life.
Who threatened you?
Her father.
Abraham Quintanilla threatened you.
Yes.
Quintanilla insists he never threatened Saldivar.
Okay, guys, so this is the same woman a few years later, about 4 or 5 years later after the original interview. And look at her demeanor change and her voice. Listen to this.
But during an exclusive 1998 interview, she spoke out about the murder.
There was never an intentional to kill Selena. Never. My intention was to relieve myself from all of that.
To relieve myself from all of that, and she moved her head away from it, which means she does want to be relieved of the situation. But we see a little scowl here. We see a little contempt in her mouth here with this lip going up this way. Also, we have a defiant attitude here. It's changed. It's no longer baby doll. Just believe me if I give you a little voice. I know you'll believe me. She knows she's not believed, so now this is the real her.
You were going to kill yourself.
Yes.
Why did you end up killing your best friend?
I didn't kill her.
You didn't kill her. You did kill her.
But Yolanda would not shed any further light on what...
Look at that. I mean, that face right there is one of defiance. Also duping delight. And gosh, you don't want to cross that woman, obviously.
Day.
What was the nature of your discussion with Selena?
I won't discuss that.
Did you ever raise the gun up?
I won't discuss that.
She's already discussed it.
Did you point the gun?
I won't discuss that.
She already said it.
Did you pull the trigger?
I won't discuss that.
And look at that. She's also got duping delight on her face because I know something you don't know. But hello, you did the other interview. So there's not a lot of English interviews with Yolanda Saldiva. There's a couple online, but there's a lot here with this woman. She's a dangerous, manipulative, obsessive kind of person that you don't want to cross. But when you meet people like her, of whatever race, whatever gender, then you know, put a barge pole between you and them. Don't cross them. Right, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is the dialogue. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and ding my bell for future videos. Do check out my Patreon page. Thanks for those who've given me some great tips.